We got
Shaggy.
Boots.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my fault. We got Boots. Ew, my fault. We got Boots. Where's my notes at? We got Boots and Stanionis getting in the ring. Let's just go through Boots and Stanionis. Take the floor, Zittel.
I got Boots by stoppage, and I totally understand that is not the most logical pick heading into this. He got touched up against Avanesian. He's been touched up in some fights. He got touched up in the Jukajan rematch.
Nothing wrong with that.
He wore some shots, clean shots on the chin.
He ain't no ghost.
Defensively, sometimes he's flash over substance. He's doing all this extra stuff with, and it's like, just make the guy miss, Boots. I don't even know if you needed to move your head on that punch. You might have been able to just catch it, but he wants to always do highlight reel stuff, sometimes to his detriment. So, there's a chance that Stanionis is the antithesis to him. You're all flash and I'm all fundamentals. You can do all these crazy moves. I'm just going to cut the distance, catch your work. And when I get close to you and that chin isn't tucked, I'm going to, Stanionis exposes Boots Ennis. I think some people are even maybe anticipating that this is the fight where Ennis, despite all his talent, all his flaws, get exposed against a sharp, underrated champion in Stanionis. Stanionis has underrated hand speed. He throws everything compact and sharp, but he's a high guard master. And I just think doing this all night against the creativity and the skill and the talent and the power and the speed of Ennis is not the right formula. And I think he's going to get Jaron Ennis with a bit of a chip on his shoulder that he ducked the 154s. He's afraid of the smoke at the 54s. He clout chased Terrence Crawford. He wouldn't have beat Terrence Crawford. Jukajan took him 12 rounds. Like he's not that. He's not what people and what he's been saying he is. And I think he largely is, despite having some hiccups, some flaws in his fights. So I think this is the fight that gets everybody back on the bandwagon. And I just think, unfortunately for Stanionis, he's going to run into a very tightened up version of Jaron Ennis, who's really on point for this fight. And I think this is the fight that makes people go, Ennis is definitely the best welterweight in the world right now. So I got Ennis by stoppage.
That people are going to go back to the kind of talk that they had about him 3 years ago.
Right.
I think after this one, I'm in line with you. I'm not sure if he'll get a stoppage, but this is the only thing I'm going to say, and I'll leave it with this: when you're Stanionis, who has that high guard kind of boxing style, and you got on the other side, you got a Boots Ennis that can switch, can literally multitask, can switch from orthodox to southpaw while he's turning and still be able to punch and do the exact same thing from the left side. At the end of the day, the way I see it, Boots is, if anything, he's going to force you to keep your hands at home. There's a lot of speed coming. There's a lot of fire coming. And you're right. He's got a chip on his shoulders. The Stanionis that I saw against Butayev, I believe it was.
When we called that fight.
Yeah.
Ugas Spence fight.
And am I wrong? Or, yeah, that was not his last fight. He's had only one fight since that.
Gabriel Maestre, because Virgil Ortiz had to pull out twice because of health concerns. So
right.
He's only really fought once in 3 years.
Right. So, I know that Boots hasn't been as, very active, much active than that. But, I just think that you got a Boots that got a run and start with a couple of fights in the last 2 years, especially, fights that he got touched up on, got people talking and, saying different things. And, you come into the ring ready to prove everybody wrong, So in a lot of ways, I just really need to, I know people hate to hear me say this, but I need to see the first, the second round. With this one, I give this one 4 rounds. Because I think that that even though, he's got the high guard, he has deceptive speed, Stanionis that is. And I think it's going to take about 4 rounds before the fight actually starts to open up. I don't think this one opens up right off the bat. I think it's going to take about 4 rounds for this one to really start to move and become what we know the rest of the fight is going to be. I think it's going to take about 4 rounds. Good fight, though.
It'll take a spectacular Ennis to come through on a stoppage, too, because Stanionis tucks his chin so well. High guard is on point, fast power, and a dog, just a super tough man. So you know, I'm picking Ennis by stoppage, but if he doesn't, I'll say to myself, you really thought Stanionis was gonna get stopped? That man is
Right.
made of stone. He's stone Jonas.
Yeah, right, exactly.